What's up, everybody? Sam here, giving you guys a quick video. I know it's been a while, I'm sorry, but here I am. And I'm here to give you guys a quick reading on this full moon. It has been an amazing 2017 for me. I have experienced nothing but love. Uh, with that being said, I have also recently especially been delving into my darkness a hell of a lot more. Don't even think about talking about Baphomet. We're not going to get into that discussion. I'm not a Satanist. A lot of people love to call me a Satanist. I'm not a Satanist. Anyways, this full moon right now is a launching pad. And sorry, I'm doing cards. I'm going to do a reading for you guys, by the way. This is a huge launching pad for anybody that's been putting in that alchemical work. If you've been doing magic within yourself, you will find magic coming out. You will find magic everywhere in life if you have been searching or if you have been truly evolving and expanding. This full moon from here on out through 2018, honestly through the next 3 years, maybe just 2, but 3 is a good time. We're going to be experiencing a very, very, very immense expansion. If you've been experiencing expansion these last few months, I'll just tell you it's going to be a lot bigger than what it's been. It's going to be awesome. It already feels awesome right now for me. That's why I'm smiling. So yeah, let me go ahead and get into this reading. I'm going to kind of pick like a random card. Cool. Alright, this is a good card, especially for me. It's the creativity card. By the way, this is my new deck that I got. If you follow me on Twitter, you'd have already seen it, but it's Magical Spell Cards, Lucy Cavendish, however you want to say her name, but yeah, no. I just got this one yesterday at a local store, and it's amazing. So yeah, creativity, let me show you the card. It says, by all above, by all below, let me connect, let creativity flow. Right? It's a nice card. It's pretty sweet. And another thing I want to highlight, actually, it's actually pretty freaking awesome. 33 is the number on this card. 33 is an extremely important number. If you follow me, you already know that 33 is one of my favorite numbers. I'm going to let you guys research that on your own because I'm not trying to take too long on this video. But I'll just say, keep it simple. Research the spiritual meaning of 33, and also with Christ and the 33 vertebrae of the spine, and how as you raise your kundalini up, that's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to show. Creativity, by all above and all below, let me connect, let creativity flow. So that's actually an amazing card. Like I said, for me, creativity. So this last month, I've really been getting hip to Ableton, and I've really been trying to kind of like perfect my craft. I've got my micro Korg here as well. Literally, my setup is right behind this camera, and I'm going to be releasing some music mid to late 2018. Hopefully, I'll at least have one song for everybody, or for myself. Really, this is how I'm going to express myself, is through music. I'll let you guys get surprised by what I put out, but it's going to be electronic because that's the wave. By all above and all below. I mean, that is amazingly like straightforward for anybody that studies occult, esoteric studies at all. Like, if you're connected with the above and the below, then you know right then and there that that's the unity of duality. Is that really duality isn't even real if you want to bring it to this level, is that duality is one of those things. Sorry, my incense went out. Duality isn't real. And that contradicts a lot of things that I said in the past, if you followed me on Twitter for a while. Normally, I'm really big into duality and how darkness births light and all that shit, right? But I've come to the point where I don't even separate the two anymore, where darkness and light are honestly the same thing, because you experience something bad and you gain something good out of it. You experience something amazing, you experience something great, and then all of a sudden something will happen and you don't feel quite as good as you did before. It's just a cycle. It's a loop. and actually Juan, 7D Ascension on Twitter, I'll put his link below along with mine. Um, it's a loop, and the loop has never really been disconnected. And it's crazy to think that I ever thought it was disconnected in the first place, that yin and yang had ever been separate from each other, because you see the yin and yang symbol, how there is, let's say, the white, but there's also that black circle, the black dot. That should have right away told me that it's all the same. That when you're connected with the below, let's just use that as darkness, you're also connected with the above, because as a plant, you plant a seed, you water it, you water it, you water it, and it sprouts up, right? As above, so below. It's amazing to me how I used to think that this was ever separate. Another thing that I actually want to bring with this card that not a lot of people may think of, but it's something that I've been thinking of a lot lately. So 33. When you put the two numbers together, 33, flip one of the threes around to face, the two face each other, you get an 8. And an 8 is actually the infinity symbol for never-ending cycles, in a sense, that this is the loop like I just talked about. And as I got those cards, you can't quite tell, but I got a ring of an Ouroboros. If you don't know what the Ouroboros is, I highly suggest you either look that up, or you just kind of intuitively think about what it is. It's a snake eating itself. Many ways to interpret that, but that's not part of the reading. Let me connect, let creativity flow. As you connect with the darkness, your creativity will flow. So here's a great example. I don't want to use him as an example. So Tyler, the Creator. This is my favorite example ever. He's my favorite artist ever. He's one of my favorite people in the entire world. He used his darkness in the very beginning. Since I kept up with him since, 2009, 2010, when he released Goblin, when he released Yonkers, that was super dark, right? I mean, for any of you that don't know, go ahead and listen to Transylvania. That was on Bastard. I mean, that's all I have to say. Listen to Tron Cat. I don't know, whatever. Listen to Bastard and Goblin, and you'll see darkness. He connected with that darkness. He was putting out that darkness and trying to, I guess you could say, release it, trying to connect to it, because if you can connect to it, then you can let it go, right? And as he progressed, as his albums came out, Wolf, latest Flower Boy, you start to see that his light came out. Flower Boy has nowhere near the darkness that Goblin or Bastard did. He has completely grown simply because, why? Because he expressed his darkness, because he became one with his darkness. And now you're starting to see the light, right? So it's never been separate. His darkness gave him his light. Maybe a lot of darkness, but he's got a lot of light, right? Everybody, I want to tell you right now, if you have any darkness, dive into it. And I know it's very scary. It truly is. But if you have any traumas, simple traumas. So here's a good way to do this first. If you have ever been, let's just say, if you've ever been called something that you don't like a name, if you've ever been ridiculed by something that you're self-conscious about, I want you to simply bring that into your present moment. Think about that for just a few minutes. Think about how it made you feel. And then accept it. First is accepting it, because you don't understand it. I talked about this before. You're not going to understand it. Just accept it for what it is. It happened, right? Accept the way that it made you feel. Because you can't change the way you feel about what happened, right? It already happened. It's in the past. You're now. You're in the now. Align yourself with the now. You have to be willing to accept what's happened in order to move on to the present. You could even use the future as an example. You don't know what's coming up. You don't need to know what's coming up if you make the right moves in the present. If you accept your past for what it is, you can be more present. I guess that's kind of what I'm trying to say here. Is you've got to connect with your darkness and your past in order to become more present, because regardless of psychology and regardless of how people work in general, I mean, this is how people work, really. I shouldn't have even said that. This is how people work, is the more you're connected to your past, the more you think about your past, the less you can think about your present, the less you can think about your future, if you even want to think about that. You have to be willing to accept and move on, because here's one thing that people may or may not know, is when you accept something for what it is, and here's the next step, is loving that. But I'll get into that in a second. When you accept what happens, you can move on to the next thing with full focus and full attention. You don't have to worry about what happened in the past if you've already accepted it, because there's no reason to worry about something that you've accepted. You have to accept it into your heart space, and this is where the love comes in, okay? Let's say you got called a name, you hated the way it made you feel, you felt sad about it. Here's how you can love that. It made you sad. Why? Because, I gotta use an example so it's easier. So in the past, somebody would call me skinny or too skinny, and it would make me feel like shit, because I knew I was too skinny, but I was too lazy to do anything about it, because that's just how I was. People people would say, "Oh, you need to eat this, you need to eat that," and I would take it personally. And here's what happens when you take it personally: is when you take something personally, that goes to show that it's not just what they think about you that made you upset. It's that it confirmed the way you think about yourself. If somebody thinks you're a certain way and they say that, and then you take that personally, that's simply because it was already rooted into your subconscious. That's just basic psychology. Is if something is confirmed, if you're confronted with something, and it makes you feel like it hurts you personally, that's because you have felt that way about yourself the entire time. We need to bring this into the present. We need to bring all of this thought process to the present and say that enough is enough. I think of myself as love. And that's true, I do. I am love. And I will not say that I'm light, because that will certainly be a lie. Because I am everything. I am all encompassing. I am universal. I am nothing at the same time. When you connect with that, when you connect with that energy, you will become more abundant in all aspects of life. You'll become more abundant in aspects of life that you may not have even thought of before. So, for example, once I started connecting with my higher and my lower self, which is no different from each other, they are the same. This is my higher self, this is my lower self, because I have embodied love, and love is the prime creator. I was created by love, my parents loved each other, there's that. Connecting with that love frequency will bring you people that are also connected with that love frequency. That's the law of attraction. Law of attraction has nothing, I mean, it may or may not. I haven't really cared too much about this. Affirmations to me have nothing to do with the law of attraction. Simply because I don't believe in the lazy aspect of life. I don't believe that you say something enough that it'll come into your life, because I believe that the only way to affirm something to come into your life is to not only speak it, but to also live it. Because the more that you live something, the more abundant things become. The more you live love, the more you love to live, the more life you get. The deeper you start to breathe, the more calm you get, the more cognitive you are. Simply because these are the root aspects of the human life. Life force is not only sexual energy, life force is also the air around you. Life force is actually also fire, believe it or not. There is a fire within us, there is a light within us. You have to start connecting with the elements of nature. The elements of nature are not only physical, but they are also mental, because the universe is all mental. That's why sometimes it is called the all, because it is all encompassing. We are included. Universe within us, we are within the universe. So let me bring this back to the card. Let me connect, let creativity flow. Let me connect with creativity, correct? Love is creative. Love is the creator, like I just said. Let me connect to love and let love abundantly flow through me. So overall, with this full moon, this, like I was telling myself and telling a few people earlier, this is the launching pad for a lot of stuff. If you've been within darkness recently, you will start to see light. If you have been within light, you may start to see darkness. This is the difference between the people that have been putting in the work and the people that have been saying they've been doing it but not doing it, which absolutely grinds my gears, right? If you've been putting in that alchemical work, if you've been doing that magic within your body, you will reap the benefits tenfold. Not only within these next few weeks, but in 2018 altogether, because 2018 is an enormous year for all of us, all the people that have been doing this spiritual work. We will be seeing huge changes, enormous abundance in all forms of energy, including money, including love, and honestly, even including hate, because with success comes hate. That happens. So don't let any of this affect you, because, like I was just saying, none of this is separate. This is really, really about unifying everything. Understanding that with more success comes more hate, because people just love to hate, right? It's whatever. With more love will come a lot of disconnects. It happens because there are not a lot of people in touch with love. I'll tell you that now. Being in touch with love does not necessarily mean love and peace be with you, all this Ralph Smart type shit, right? Love also means pushing somebody on their own, kicking them out of the nest just like a mother would do to her baby bird, right? Making sure that they can fly on their own, because if they can't fly on their own, how are they going to fly with you? You don't have a crutch everywhere you go if you're connected to love. If you're not connected to love, you're seeking something, you're seeking some validation, right? Don't be seeking. Let things find you. Let answers, let love, let everything flow abundantly towards you, because you are love. Because you are embodying love. You are being love. You are not affirming yourself that you're love. You are being love. So really, that's what this is all about. Creativity. Not only creativity physically, but creativity within yourself. So I want you guys to focus on that. Please. Please do. With this full moon, be careful what you put your attention on. If you're going to put your attention on anything, please put it on the embodiment of love. The embodiment of light. Like I said, love does not always mean love and peace be with you type shit. Love also means being willing to separate yourself from something in order to make sure everything is within reason. Because if you can't accept it, then don't accept it. You don't have to do things that you don't want to do. This is all a choice. Be within the body. Be within the spirit. Be within the mind. The universe is mental. You are a universal being. This physical body has absolutely the smallest percentage to do with my overall mission as a soul. I'm here to spread word, and that's exactly what I'm trying to do now. So I hope you guys have a blessed 2018. I hope this full moon treats you all well, truly. I hope you are all creating love. I hope you are all embodying love, because that's what this is about. Be careful what you focus on, because it's a cycle. Life is a loop. That's all I really got to say. I hope you guys are doing the work. That's all I got to say, because you will be reaping the benefits.